Okay, welcome back, guys. This is going to be another episode of whatever Book of Mormon stuff I've been doing, translating the Book of Mormon from Arabic into English to help you guys understand the grammar and all this stuff. I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in a while, but this video hopefully will make up for that. So instead of going over more of the introduction to the Book of Mormon, I've decided to just jump right into one of the chapters. So we're going to start in the first chapter of Nephi. This is the first verse, First Nephi 1. And we're going to go over the whole verse. So this is going to be a longer episode, so I'll try to jump right into it. And hopefully it'll make sense because it has a lot more difficult grammar than the introduction. And yeah, hopefully it'll all be good. And it will be longer because the verse is kind of long. And this is the verse. I, Nephi, having been born of goodly parents, therefore I was taught somewhat in all the learnings of my father, and having seen many afflictions in the course of my days, nevertheless, having been highly favored of the Lord in all my days, yea, having had a great knowledge of the goodness and the mysteries of God, therefore I make a record of my proceedings in my days. You can see how the grammar for this verse is a little more difficult and how it's a little long. So this will take a little bit of time to go over, but I'll hopefully be able to go over it all and it all makes sense. You can use this video to help you through the first verse. Okay, so right off the bat, we got in the Nephi. Try to go through this as fast as I can so it doesn't take forever though. So in Arabic means I. So that's a word you guys should really learn. It means I. And Nephi means Nephi. So I, Nephi. In the Nephi. This is where it gets confusing. This is just a comma right here if you didn't know. Eid. Now, Eid is a really interesting word. So it literally translates to so. It's like, so are we going to go to the store today? Like that kind of so. Eid. But in this case, it means more of like a when. A when or at this time in space. And when you say when, it doesn't really work so well. This more directly translates into English as being having been born, because we're talking about having been born. But really, if you think about it, it kind of means when, or at this time, I was born of goodly parents. So as in like, in the past, I was born of goodly parents. So this is kind of, it doesn't really translate well into English, but we could say it kind of means having, but it more means so or when. So I, Nephi, in a Nephi, Eid, in a Nephi, Eid, when, weledet, how do you pronounce that? Wulid. Okay, and that means born. So, when at some time I was born, or having been born, le ebuin. Okay, so ignore the le right there. Ebuin means parents. If you don't already know this, there's many ways of saying parents in Arabic. This is just one of the ways. Ebuin. The le, we've talked about this before, what the lam does. The lam means a ton of things in Arabic. But one of them in this case is having been born of. We've talked about before how it can mean of. Like, another testament of Jesus Christ, right? And it's not direct, so we're not saying I am of my parents. That sounds a little weird. But I have been born of the parents. It's an indirect connection between born and the parents. So you use the le to indicate that. I don't know if that really makes sense, but hopefully with a little more time just reading, you'll kind of understand when you use the lam rather than you don't. If it's like directly, like I am from somewhere, you just say in the min, no, that's from. Sorry, I can't think of a good example right now. But over time, you'll understand when you use the lam and when you don't. And then we got salahin. Salahin. And that means goodly or good, righteous. It means a number of things. For this one, it's goodly. So I, Nephi, having been, or when I was born of parents, goodly parents. Ina Nephi, إذ ولد لأبوين صالحين. Okay. So that was a little bit difficult with the grammar. It gets more difficult though. Not here, but later in the verse. So we got لقنط, and this means, لقنط means taught. Taught, شيئا, which means somewhat or something. Min, you may remember min means from. So taught somewhat, as is in the scriptures, taught somewhat from jemia, another word that's really important to know, which means all. Jemia, or everyone. But jemia ilum means science or teachings. And Abbi means my father. Now I think we went over the different possessions and how they work. So in other words, Ab is father. You throw in the E at the end to make it my father. Remember there's the E, the ik, the hu, the he. Hu is his, he is hers, ik is yours, e is mine, ne is ours. Those all go at the end to show it's someone's. So having been taught of my father, Abi, right? So that's the first little bit of this verse. I, Nephi, Ina Nephi, إذ ولد لأبوين صالحين لقنط شيئا من جميع علوم أبي. So I, Nephi, when, or at this time, was born of parents that were goodly. لقنط, and was taught somewhat from all the teachings or science of my father. See how that is directly of my father? Science of my father. Sorry. Science of my father is direct. So in that case, we wouldn't have the le there because it's directly science of my father. It's my father's science. Whereas I was born of my parents, but the being born, the verb right there isn't my parents' verb. It's just indirectly connected. So you throw in the le there, but this is direct, so you don't throw in the le there. So that's the first bit of this verse. And then it keeps going for a bit. So just 1 second, write down the rest of this. Or I could just post this in sections. And this could be the first section. And then I post the other ones.